Our next story will touch your hearts as we take you into an organization called the Wheelchair Foundation.
It would be difficult enough to have a disability that steals your ability to walk, but then imagine not having access to a wheelchair.
For some, obtaining a wheelchair was as much an impossibility as getting up and flying. But Kenneth Baring's project to deliver mobility to those in need changed all that. Watch as we show you how he helps people take flight delivering Wheels for Wings. Imagine living your life crawling on the ground, looking at people's feet rather than their faces, waiting for someone to move you before you can get out of bed each day. A wheelchair seems like an obvious solution, but in many countries they are simply unavailable or beyond the means of the needy to pay for. That's where Kenneth Baring comes in. His simple idea has grown into the Wheelchair Foundation, an organization serving the world by providing mobility to those in need.
I've tried many things. I've taken books, I've taken medicine, I've taken clothes, but you don't know how much it really helps. Where with a wheelchair, you see it in a matter of minutes. Their life changes completely. This is in a matter of minutes.
Seeing for the first time that smile in their face, that light in their eyes when they sat on that chair and they didn't have to crawl like a little animal on the floor, on the sand because there was no floor. There's just no words to say it. I don't have that vocabulary to express to him what it means to my people to count on a wheelchair.
In the beginning, wheelchairs were donated to supply the need. Now, with the volume they require, they are able to manufacture the wheelchairs specifically for distribution.
Well, the first wheelchairs that I gave that mounted to anything was in Vietnam. Our first little girl that we gave a wheelchair to, we went out to her house, and she had never moved before. She was 7 years old. And she was so scared because she didn't know what was happening. Her parents were scared. All of the neighbors were around. But when we finally did get her into a wheelchair, showed her how to move it, that smile came on her face, and we knew that we had something that really meant something to people. With the wheelchairs, what we're doing is helping the unfortunate that are living in our world now to make their life better. Normally we're not giving them new legs, but we are permitting them to live a more normal life.
Dios, gracias. Adios. Gracias.
They've never been given anything like this. They have a family income of $300 a year. Wheelchair would cost $600 to $700. They have no chance at all of ever having one. It permits them to go from being discarded into having some hope and some future, maybe going back to school or going to church, or at least getting together with the family. I've had people that for 25 years have never been out of bed, and suddenly you put them in a wheelchair and it's a whole new life for them that they have to explore.
The stories keep pouring in. Everywhere the Wheelchair Foundation goes, lives are changed as the gift of simple mobility is given, restoring dignity and giving purpose and hope to thousands.
The most important thing that I've learned is how small the world is and how many people really need our help. As you go to the third world countries, there's so many people that are without hope, without a future, and they need people such as us to at least let them live somewhat of a normal life. So I hope that we can lead a charge that can show the world that we care and that we are all God's children and we want to help whoever needs help. That's our mission, is to give care and a future and hope to many of these people that don't have it. And through this, I think we can have a closer world.